Hi y'all, this is Tanya Meadows with Apple Tree Homeschool Academy, and today I want to share with you various ideas of what you can use for fraction manipulatives. These we've collected over the years, and truthfully I could not believe what all I had when I pulled it all out. Some of these are homemade and a lot are free that we made or we bought at the dollar store, various places, and we put this together as economically as we possibly could through the years because we do live on a budget, as most homeschooling and teachers do. So go ahead and grab you something to drink, get comfortable, and let's get started. Okay, the very first fraction item that I ever bought was these rainbow fraction tiles from Learning Resources, and they come on a tray. Let me take those out for you. Okay, so they come on a tray, and they're plastic pieces. Now, these are not magnetic, and I have just this evening ordered a set of magnetic so that I can put them on my blackboard that's magnetic. And it comes in the 1/1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, 1/8, 1/10, and 1/12. Now these do not have anything on the back of them in this particular set. You could probably put magnets on the back of that if like maybe hot glue some magnetic strips on there if you have a set of these at home and wanted to turn them magnetic. Now this set did come with some stickers, and I never really had any ideas of what to use with the stickers, so I've just left them here. It comes with a activity sheet for the parent or teacher and a activity master on the back. Okay, and these are some additional stickers that came with the set, and I did attempt to put them on some bottle caps, but as you see here, they do lift off of that plastic. So this has been a great success in our home daycare, in our homeschool. Let me move on to the next. Additionally, I purchased a set of the tiles that goes and matches the previous set I just showed you, but on the back of these plastic bars comes the decimals that match the fraction that's on the other side. So 1/2 would be 0.5 and 1/4 would be 0.25. And that set came in a bag, and I have stored it in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. And as you can see, it has a variety of pieces that comes with it, and they all fit on that previous board. Okay, so when I first began teaching my daughter fractions, we made our own fraction bars out of construction paper. We started out with the one whole piece, and this has been laminated and cut apart on blue construction paper. We labeled it as one whole, and then we took that same measurement as a guide for the rest of our pieces. So these is 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, and 1/8 pieces. And this linear measure, I believe, came in a set of in one of the workbooks that I either got at Sam's Club or I don't know, maybe Walmart. But I believe this set of little cardboard, it's cardstock fractions with their matching decimals came in a workbook, as well as these. And these are fraction and decimal cards. And I believe this looks like this might have been, I can't remember what the name of this workbook was. But if you don't have the money to go ahead and make your purchase, just go ahead and make your own. Just make sure you can get the pieces as closely to the same size as your one piece total. Also, when we're talking about linear measurements, this resource I also got from Learning Resources. These are fraction towers, equivalency cubes, and they have the fractions, percents, and decimals. So you could also use building blocks like Legos or the Duplo blocks, but they have the fractions on one side, and let me see if I can get the percentages on the other, and the decimal on another. Okay, and these are very nice to manipulate. It comes with a little sheet of directions and activity suggestions. Okay, for a pie chart or for pie shaped and circular shaped fraction pieces, this is a worksheet that came out of the grade 4 comprehensive curriculum, and it also has another page in it, and it's set up to be able to cut these out and make your own manipulatives. So keep an eye out on your worksheets and your workbooks, and you can probably find some of these at Teachers Pay Teachers or various places on the internet as well to go ahead and print out. This is a set of fraction circles, and these are foam, so they're soft to the touch, bendable, and labeled. They're fraction circles. They're from Teacher Created Resources. I got these at our local teacher resource store, and it comes with a variety of shaped fractions, or not shaped fractions, but fraction pieces. 1 whole, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, 1/10, 1/8, and there's a 12th in there. But what I have done is it comes in a Ziploc baggie, so a lot of our pieces we keep in baggies, but I've stored a piece of contact paper in with this set, and then when we go to make our fractions, we can set it on the little tiny sheet of contact paper, and it keeps our pieces from sliding around. So there you go. And then I just keep the paper backing that comes with contact paper right there on there, and then I just keep it right here inside of our Ziploc baggie. It all fits right nicely inside the bag, and we just put it all away. There you go. Okay, so the next circular fraction manipulative that I've made myself is these little mini representations of pizzas. We took some tan colored construction paper and made a larger circle, a smaller red circle, and then a white circle, and laid them on top of each other to represent a pizza. And then you can we've laminated them and cut them out, keep them in a Ziploc baggie, and then you can take a dry erase marker, and you can also use a ruler if you'd like, and try to make as even marks as you possibly can, and use this as a excuse me, that is not 1/2, is it? That is 1/4. 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. And you can use this as a manipulative. If you want to get your dry erase marker off of your items, try using baby wipes, or also use some alcohol, the rubbing alcohol with a little cloth or a paper towel. That works wonders. Okay. Also, you can use small little manipulatives to talk about the grouping and how fractions can be part of a group. Okay, so you can take out 6. Let's see, 6 little and mini erasers here, and these are in the shape of pizza, little pizza slices. I found these at the dollar section of Target at the beginning of the school year. And these are little tiny mini erasers. We can divide the group of 6 up into thirds, and 2 would be in each group. We could take 9, and they would be 3 in each group. So you can use any kind of little handheld manipulatives and things that you can count to use as grouping with fractions. Okay, another idea when you're talking about grouping items and individual items from a group would be using these little glass beads that you can find either at the dollar store or at your local Walmart. And these are little glass beads, and they're flat on one side. And here we've grouped them in sets of 4. Okay, you can manipulate them around and move them to sets of 3. We have an array here with rows and columns. So this would also be good for multiplication and division, as well as our fractions. An additional item that you can get to or to use for grouping and separating items and individual items are these farm animals from Learning Resources. They also have little tubs of all kinds of different various animals, but this tub comes 60 in a pack, and I got this from Amazon. But what I've done is used a recycled vegetable tray, and I've put 3 different animals into each of the 4 compartments. So 4 times 3 is 12. We've divided our 12 animals up into 4 different sections. And we can talk about how the chickens are 1/4 out of 12. The pigs are 1/4 out of 12 because they're in 4 separate compartments. Now, what I did with a lesson the other day was talk about how the farmers take their animals to the local fair, and the idea was that we only had a certain number of pins to hold our animals at the fair, and so we put the animals together, and each pin, how many holding pin did we need for the animals. And so we had started out with all the animals in one section, and we had to divide them out into each section. This is good for preschoolers or toddlers. Just watch for choking hazards. Make sure they're supervised, because these are small pieces. And then we talked about dividing them out, and then this is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 2/4, 2/4, 3/4. So anyway, yeah, save your vegetable trays or fruit trays, and you can also get these at your local dollar store. Okay, my daughter is in the middle of creating a color wheel out of watercolor painting, and when she's done, she could make a second one of these, and we could cut those out and also use this as a homemade fraction pie shaped reference material for fractions. This is a resource from, I guess it's called Didax, right there. Let me see if there's something on the back here. It's number 211791. It's a fraction number line Flipbook. So let me show you. It's on this spiral bound. They have a unmarked number line, thirds, fourths, fifths, eighths, tenths. Let's see here, 12ths, 16ths. And then we have percents on this side, and we have decimals on this side. Let's see what else we got. And some blank number lines. This is laminated, so I am assuming that you should be able to use dry erase on this. It does say write on, wipe off number lines for representing and using fractions. 18 pages. Okay, this is also a resource from Didax, and this is a fraction, decimal, and I believe it might, not sure if it has percents on here or not, I can't remember, but you match the decimals with the fractions, and it does have some picture references as well. Okay, and I got this at our local teacher resource store. Okay, I got this Pizza Fun Fraction game. It's by Scholastic. This is not magnetic, but I have seen some magnetic versions similar to this pizza game. Okay, it comes with two sides. One side is a supreme pizza and one side is a cheese pizza. And I store the pieces in a Ziploc baggie. Comes with a spinner and a variety of different sizes of fraction. Now I do take the ones that's the 16th, the 1/16th, and put in a little snack size Ziploc baggie so that it's easier to just lay out in our piles. And I've got the 1/8 in a sandwich baggie. And then it comes with the 1/3 slices, okay, like I said, and the 1/4. One side is supreme, one side is cheese, and the goal is to build a pizza with your spinner. Okay, there's another great idea. This resource I got from our local dollar store, Dollar Tree, and it's called, their education materials are called Teaching Tree. This is fraction equivalencies, but it comes with the picture and the fraction. I started to laminate these a little bit through, looks like I might have used some packing tape to laminate these small pieces, but they have the title on the opposite side. And what I liked about this set is it came with the less than, greater than, and equal to signs. So go ahead and check your local dollar store, Dollar Tree, to see what they may have for fractions. These are little foam dice that have mixed numbers and fractions. And these are called Easy Shapes Fraction Dice, a set of 5. And again, they're from Didax Education. You can use tangrams for your fractions as well. And you can take these pieces and you could trace around each piece on a piece of paper and let the child make a design or a shape out of it, in this case a flower or a square, and then see how much it takes, how many pieces does it take to fill in their larger square or their larger shape. So here it would take 4 for this larger square, and then we have a solid piece, 2, 3, and 6. Go ahead and think outside the box. If you've got access to some building blocks, these came, I pulled these out of my home daycare block section. There's all kinds of fraction manipulatives that you can use out of blocks or out of pieces of wood. You could use dowel rods, and I've also seen videos on how to make length fractions out of pool noodles and cutting pool noodles up. But in our daycare, we have these architectural blocks from Melissa and Doug, and they have these little dividing marks on them. Now this is not the standard, this is the architectural set, and two of the smaller ones equal one of the larger. And I like this that it has the sections here. Okay, one of their small blocks in the standard set will fit two of the triangles. So when you're talking about halves, it doesn't necessarily always have to be the squares or the rectangles. We can also talk about how the triangles and other shapes also can become fractions. Here we have the standard set, two of the medium and four of the small. The children can work on these on the floor on the carpet. So we don't have to be sitting at the table to learn about fractions. Okay, in this section, or with these blocks, I went ahead and kept the outside arch to keep the little half circles contained a bit. And then you can take two of the smaller half circles, of the quarter circles, and put them on top of the half circles. And there you go. Put that, give you a little better visual on that one. There you go. Here's a file folder set from Lakeshore Learning, and it's file folder games for fractions, decimals, and percents. See if you can see inside. But it comes in a nice box to store them. And we've got matching equivalent fractions. So I'll give you a little peek at what these would look like. It comes with the little pieces. Okay. And so this set has matching equivalent fractions. We've got equivalent fractions, decimals, and percents. See, mixed numbers and improper fractions. Okay. Adding like fractions. Subtracting like fractions. Let's see what else we got here. The box keeps wanting to tip over on me here. Adding unlike fractions. Subtracting unlike fractions. Multiplying fractions. And let's see, just a few more. Okay, we've got dividing fractions, calculating percentage. We've got a reference material. Yeah. So there you go. That's what all comes in. That's a lot of games. And that's by Lakeshore Learning. Okay, I've also got this fractions and decimals bulletin board set, and according to this little leaflet here, it comes from Creative Teaching Press Incorporated. And here's the little leaflet it comes with. And I don't necessarily put these on the wall. You can make a storable mini bulletin board out of some cardstock, or that you can get at the Dollar Tree for $1. What I was saying was that at the local dollar stores or Dollar Trees, whichever, you can get some poster board that is foam board, and you can mount your bulletin board displays on the front and backs of those, and you don't necessarily have to hang them on your wall. But make a little bulletin board out of some foam poster board, and then that way you can store it and bring it in and out as you need it. But here's the pieces to this set. There's a section on reducing a fraction to simplest form, converting decimals to fractions, converting fractions to decimals, and a variety of pictures. Okay. Equivalent fractions, simplest form, equivalent parts of a group, equivalent parts of a whole, some definitions, and a variety of other things that comes in that set. Now on Teacher Pay Teachers and on a variety of websites and blogs, you can often find these charts. So you can do a search on fraction charts, fraction posters, fraction anchor charts, and pull up these full page little charts that you can keep in a book for reference. And when I'm talking about fractions, I always include the vocabulary of the division, especially for the older group, because you want to talk about dividend, divisor, and quotient, and how the fraction bar is actually a division. It's actually a type of division. So there's 3 types of division: log division and fractions. I don't know, in the standard, I guess, is what you call it. Okay, so these are a variety, and I believe I got all of these for free. So yeah, just poke around on the internet. Proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed numbers. Here's changing a mixed number to an improper fraction. I've inserted this into a sheet protector, so we could use a dry erase marker with that, and we could practice on this as a template. Okay. All of this, I believe, was free on the internet. Try Teachers Pay Teachers. Speaking of Teachers Pay Teachers, this was a purchase that I did make, and this is a notebooking resource. And this is from a few years ago. So this was an excellent resource. We added some information into our notebook. Try BrainPop and BrainPop Junior. They may have some free videos. It's BrainPop Junior or BrainPop.com, and it's usually a subscription resource. We did have a subscription at the time I made this, but sometimes they do offer their videos for free, or some of their videos for free. So this is a resource from Teachers Pay Teachers for the most part, and that is Mrs. Roja, Rojas, teaches blog.blogspot.com, based on Common Core standards, which we don't have to worry about that in Virginia. But I really enjoyed this resource here. Here's a very aesthetically pleasing resource, and it is from Kathleen and Mandy off of Teachers Pay Teachers. And I probably purchased this, but I can't really remember. I did laminate them. I'm not sure if this came 4 to a page, but just in case you ever have printables that would take up a whole page, set your printer to print 2 to 4 on a page, and then test to see how if it would print off better, either horizontal or landscape, and you can get 4 of these on a sheet. But I believe these probably came 4 to a sheet already. But this is a sample of some of the cards that you'd get in that set. Okay, and then here's another part of the set, I believe. That's probably purchased. I purchased those probably. Okay, so here's another, I believe this was Teachers Pay Teachers. Yeah, right here it is. Teachers Pay Teachers, and it's from the store Promoting Success. Multiplying Fractions tax cards. And this is some sample pages. Sample cards. This is a case where 2 would have fit on one sheet of paper, and one cardstock. Okay, my last resource here are these fraction cards, and I have no earthly idea where I got these from. I did print them out and I laminated them. It probably was somewhere on Teachers Pay Teachers or on the internet somewhere, but each of the cards, each set they have 2 cards for the 2 over 2 and the 1 over 2, the 1/2 and the 2 halves, and then the 1/3 pieces have 3, the 1/4 have 4 pieces, the 1/5 pieces cards have 5, and so on. So as you get up into the 1/12 here, that's how many cards you have. So as one of the activities, I'm going to have the children actually sort these all out and discover that little piece of factoid all on their own. And I'm going to let them see how even the stacks get thicker as they stack these up. Because you start out with 1 and end up with 12 cards. Start out with 1 card and end up with a stack of 12 by the time you're done. But these are very nicely done as well. So I hope you get some good ideas on some things that you can make on your own. You don't have to purchase everything. And I think we're all on a budget. And I hope you get some ideas on what you can use for using fractions. I'll do another video on the books that I have. One more thing. Okay, almost forgot. So you can use play money as well.